For whatever reason, the more centrist part of the GOP conference is trying to reinstate Kevin McCarthy as the Speaker of the House. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back again with a new video, and today it is time that we talk about the chaos unfolding on Capitol Hill, because everyone, for whatever reason, there is serious momentum growing for the GOP to reinstate Kevin McCarthy as the Speaker of the House for whatever reason. You heard that right. Some of these centrist Republicans, for whatever reason, think, we need to reinstate Kevin McCarthy because of what's happening in Israel. You cannot make this up. I mean, the majority of the GOP conference has already endorsed Steve Scalise or Jim Jordan, if not a majority, very close to it. And at this point in time, it's like, what? Kevin McCarthy has said he doesn't want to run for Speaker again. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $1 a month, you could join Real American. This is the best way to support the daily content that we all know and love. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Alright, everybody. So again, these moderate Republicans, for whatever reason, they think, okay, Kevin McCarthy got thrown on his ass out of office. So instead of just accepting it, they are using the Israel crap as an excuse to get Kevin McCarthy back. You cannot make this up. Again, what's happening in Israel is horrible. But that doesn't mean Kevin McCarthy should automatically become the Speaker again. So let's get into it. The attacks in Israel and demand for U.S. aid are injecting new urgency into recent talks among centrist House Republicans to attempt to reinstate Kevin McCarthy as House Speaker, with scores of Republican lawmakers now discussing the effort. Instead of forcing a vote in the conference between Steve Scalise and Jim Jordan, the Clown Caucus, that's what I'm going to call these people, they would rather potentially cause even more division by attempting to force through Kevin McCarthy again? Calls and texts among GOP members picked up dramatically after news of the attacks reached the U.S. overnight on Friday. The message per one House Republican lawmaker involved in the long-shot effort to, quote, "We need to bring back Kevin immediately." Why? Just think about this for a second, all right? Instead of, voting for, say, Jim Jordan, because at this point in time, I think Jim Jordan is a favorite. He's got endorsements of people like Nancy Mace, Scott Fitzgerald. It's looking more and more likely it's probably going to be Jordan. It's not official, but it seems like he has momentum. Instead of just accepting, Kevin McCarthy is done, just go to Jim Jordan, accept it, he's the next speaker. These bozos want to instead, for whatever reason, try to get McCarthy back? Listen, it doesn't matter how you do this. It's going to take the same amount of time to reinstate Kevin McCarthy, actually probably longer, because I doubt the Republicans would allow that, than it would be just to get Jim Jordan elected. It's just like, what? Why? Why does it have to be Kevin McCarthy? Lawmakers are concerned that another drawn-out speakership battle will delay action to aid Israel after attacks that sent America's closest Middle East ally into a state of war. That's time, these Republicans say, that they don't have during a major emergency. Well, maybe those assholes in leadership shouldn't have called off meeting for the next week. Just like, yes, we're not meeting till next Wednesday, but we have to reinstate McCarthy now to save time. If you're so worried about beforehand, why didn't you have a meeting about it on Friday? A short window is all we need in the House to reinstate Kevin McCarthy and change the rule. Congressman John Girardi, told Politico. Of course. Girardi, the bozo that got single-handedly bailed out by Kevin McCarthy, who shafted David Gillio. You have your opinions about that. He did. Yes, Girardi, who has no shot of winning, who has backstabbed his voters 24/7. Now we need to act. What? Girardi also said he thought the Biden administration's positions and our disarray in the House were factors in the timing of the attacks. Baloney! They were planning for months about this. They didn't magically decide to do it now because there was a speakership fight. That's baloney. McCarthy is aware and grateful of the growing effort to reinstate him, but he's not engaged at this point, this lawmaker added. The attempt to reinstall McCarthy faces long odds. Two strong candidates are running active campaigns with only days to go before voting, and many dozens of Republicans have already made endorsements. There's little reason to think the basic math for McCarthy has changed for McCarthy since last Tuesday. Exactly, it's like, wait, what? You already have 50 endorsements for Scalise and 60 for Jordan or whatever it is. So that's almost a majority of the conference. So even if McCarthy made a last-ditch effort to enter, it's like, are you really going to get every single other person to endorse you? That doesn't seem likely. Republicans behind the push, however, believe the urgency to address the terror attacks and aid Israel could pressure the 8 House Republicans who voted against McCarthy earlier to switch their stance. These people are absolutely delusional. Just accept Jim Jordan's the next speaker. That's what we're heading towards at this point in time. If the endorsements keep it up, Jordan's going to have a mathematical majority over Scalise. If it keeps up. I don't get why they want McCarthy so badly. I mean, these people care about electability and all this other crap. Well, guess what? You know the funny thing? The majority of Americans and even the majority of conservatives supported McCarthy's ouster. Look at this. 60% of adults in the U.S. backed the removal. The survey also noted that among those Americans that support his ouster, 75% agree with the sentiment that McCarthy wasn't effective, an opinion that came after McCarthy cut a deal to avert a government shutdown last month. Notably, 54% of Americans who identify as a conservative expressed approval for ousting McCarthy. So not only does the majority of all Americans support getting rid of McCarthy, but even the majority of your base doesn't want him. So instead of just moving on, you're gonna back frickin' McCarthy again? These hypocrites are unbelievable. Yes, the 8 Republicans are outlandish. So instead of accepting that McCarthy doesn't have the support now, because quite frankly, a large chunk has gone to Jordan or Scalise, we're gonna try and reinstate McCarthy. Huh? I don't get this logic with some of these people. I really don't. There is nothing the House can do until they elect a speaker. I don't know if that happens quickly, McCarthy told Fox News. Then elect a speaker. It's leadership's fault for kicking it for a week. That's their problem. Lawmakers are also looking into outlining more clear powers for acting Speaker pro tempore Patrick McHenry in the short term, or possibly by electing him Speaker outright. That ain't happening. I can already assure you that's probably not going to happen. The House could take other actions to get around McHenry's restrained role, including voting him in as Speaker pro tempore, thus shedding his acting title to give him more authority, while Republicans figure out who they want to lead them. If McHenry attempts to act on Israel legislation or other, without broader authority from the House, he risks being challenged on the floor and votes to overturn his actions. I think he should have immediately, the day after this speakership shit show, you should have said, we're going to have a vote on the House floor. We're going to give the Speaker pro tempore some powers. temporarily, for like 2 weeks or whatever, to be the temporary speaker or something. All right, he can't be the speakership forever. There has to be a vote on it, but just say, look, the speaker pro tempore has temporary powers. That's it. They could have did this last Wednesday if they really wanted to. But nope. They decided to wait a week for whatever reason. The push for McCarthy or McHenry are more palatable options for many vulnerable Republicans, especially those in Biden districts. What? Hold on. Time out. We just had a poll not only from CBS, but YouGov and frankly every favorability poll. Nobody wanted McCarthy as speaker anymore. Not even Republicans. So, what do you mean that McCarthy's is a better option for vulnerable Republicans? This is the thinking by so many of these people that, oh, well, you see here that, McCarthy is magically a popular guy for whatever reason. Let's be real. It's because McCarthy bankrolled their campaigns. He funneled tens of millions of dollars, but nothing to say Joe Kent, but he gave John Girardi like $10 million. He gave the bozo in Pennsylvania 7th, I think, like $12 million. You just keep looking around the board, it's like, yeah, the people that, magically support McCarthy, they're the only ones that got virtually any support from him last year for the election. What does that tell you? It's just unbelievable how incompetent the leadership has handled this. If you're so worried about getting a frickin' package passed, just give the speaker pro tempore temporary powers. Just say for 2 weeks, he has expanded powers or whatever. But that doesn't make him the speaker. Just say that. I don't get what's so complicated about that. Why do you suddenly gotta reinstate McCarthy? That's gonna cause more problems than help. Because at this point in time, McCarthy probably lost votes since the speakership shit show. That's just my opinion, but who knows? Things could happen, but this just seems like pure incompetence at display for the GOP. Hopefully they elect Jim Jordan or even Steve Scalise, but don't go back to McCarthy. Nobody wants him, except the people that got bankrolled by him. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much. Godspeed to all of you.